Friday. Hey! How y'all doing today? Oh my God, I missed y'all. I have missed y'all so badly. So I hope everyone has had an awesome and amazing 2 weeks, because it has been 2 weeks since we've been together and been united. Do know that I miss you all. I love y'all so much. Like, y'all just don't even understand the magnitude. Like, I just love all of y'all and I miss all of y'all so much. So much. Like, whoa, how y'all doing? Like, whoa, can't wait. First, let's kick it off with, can you honestly believe that it is actually Saturday, August 1st? Can you actually believe we are in the 8th month of the year? We are in the 8th month of the year. That means we only got 4 more months to go. Like, it was literally just January. Literally. Where did this time go? It's beyond my understanding. I'm not even sure. But hey, we're here. We got an excellent show planned for you today. I'm Shavana, your host, the Allure of Abundance, and welcome to Let's Talk Finance podcast. But you know how I like to do it. Before we get into all the good stuff, I got to kick it off with fun facts. Ooh! Look, like, this is such a learning experience for me. You know, when you think you know it all and you really truly don't know it all. You just know just enough. So I thought about doing this particular fun fact because I love bread. Like, bread is delicious. Like, cold, toasted, warm, crunched up. Like, bread is just delicious. Like, you could just do so much stuff with it. Like, garlic bread toast and avocado toast and pull apart butter garlic bread and cheesy baked bread and turkey bacon and sausage and bread. Like, I can just go on and on and on. So I wanted to know how bread was invented. Like, who thought about this bread? Like, who made this? Like, this is a must have, because whoever did it, I tilt my hat to him, because I love bread, right? Okay, so let's talk about sliced bread. So commercial pre-sliced bread debuted July 7th, 1928. So, I would have thought it would have been like in the 1600s, 1700s. But to find out it was just done in the 1900s, first of all, that was breathtaking. Like, whoa, it was just this soon, right? So it debuted in Chillicothe, Missouri. And the inventor who created this was Otto Frederick Rodwelder, right? And now you all know that saying that the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, that saying is because of him. And sometimes I find myself saying that more often than usual. So why not know when sliced bread was invented? So now I have a whole new outlook on bread. So when I go pick out my bread now, I'm going to be like, you were invented July 7th, 1928. Great, because I'm going to eat you right now. Now, the Chillicothe Baking Company used a machine to slice and wrap the loaves of bread at the same time. So instead of people going in and just buying a loaf of bread and cutting it themselves, they had an actual machine that sliced this bread. And I haven't found a loaf of bread that has more than 22 slices. I'm thinking they should have some loaves that have more than 22 slices. But that's another fun fact. Now, when this hit the market, right, the sales for the bakery jumped up 2,000% within 2 weeks after this machine was introduced. Like, who wouldn't? You saving time on cutting bread. Like, this, and it's an extra utensil that you don't even have to wash. So like you got to think outside the box from an octagon's perspective, right? So yes, I'm sure that the percentage increased within 2 weeks. By 1933, um, just some years later, about 80% of all bread sold in the United States was now pre-sliced. Like pre-sliced. Like, yeah, so you just saved me a whole bunch of time. Let's think about it. Like, if I gotta make 2 grilled cheeses or 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I gotta perfectly slice 4 slices of bread. What if one slice is crooked? Like, you got to think about all this stuff. So now if you got this machine that's slicing it, right, I don't have to worry about a cutting board or a knife. I don't got to worry about washing 2 extra dishes. I can just go and grab my slices of bread out this nice package that is soft and it's fluffy when you push it in the end and it come back out. That's how you know the freshness. And yeah, and you just all good. Like, yeah, I love simple things sometimes. Now, on January 18, 1943, the U.S. government enacted the Food Distribution Order Number 1. And what they did was they banned commercial bakeries from selling pre-sliced bread to conserve wax paper. First of all, how dare you? The percentages went up between 2,000% in 2 weeks, and then a few years later, 80% increases, and you're going to ban this? Like, how dare you? Maybe that person just loved cutting bread and washing dishes. That's what I figured. And they wanted to save on wax paper for the machines that they were using. But check this out. They ain't bad, because we bad. What I mean by we is the public. The public outcry was swift, including famous companies, from household wives, the morale, and everything. Everybody complained and was like, no, we are not going through that struggle anymore slicing bread. Bring back the pre-sliced bread. Like, I could just see the picket signs up. We want pre-sliced bread. My picket sign would have been, I'm not washing no dishes. So, I mean, just think about it. How dare y'all interact something like that? But don't worry about it, because the public came together. And after that outcry, the ban was rescinded less than 2 months later. So by March 8th, 1943, we were back in business with pre-sliced bread. Boom. I love it. Hey, y'all, I missed y'all. Ooh, I missed y'all so much. Can y'all tell I missed y'all? Ooh. So for all y'all bread lovers out there, you can officially say this has been good since sliced bread. And that was March 8th, 1943. Boom. Yes, after all the other scrutinies and everything else that happened. Yes, it's time for some water. I got a lot out that time. Okay. Want to jump into some announcements. First of all, to my listeners, my viewers, just thank y'all so much for coming out to Anointed Accounting's 5th year anniversary that was hosted on Monday, July 20th. First of all, let me just say, when you're throwing an event on a Monday, that's the first work day. So for people to come out, for people that wanted to come out and couldn't come out, for people that was just on the live and the live was doing what it wanted to do, just your participation, your love, your dedication, everything you do was fully amazing. It was so amazing. And I really appreciate you all for that. We got some wonderful and exciting things that's going to be happening over the next 3 to 5 years. That's where them SMART goals come in that I talked to you all about. We're going to be sharing that information with you. But thanks for just coming out and celebrating with us for our 5-year anniversary of being in business. So not only did Anointed Accounting become established during COVID, the doors are still open to Anointed Accounting. And we just want to say thank you to all of the customers and all of the clients and everybody that participated in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We love and appreciate y'all, hands down, to the fullest. Stay tuned for more information because we're going to want to see you. We're going to want you to come out and engage and have fun with us. Let's Talk Finance is going to be doing some remarkable things coming up this year and moving forward. We're also going to keep you abreasted up on that information as well. So just stay tuned, stay afloat. We got some things happening. You know, it may seem like a slow process, but I'd rather for the process to be slow and it works than to rush it and it doesn't work. So that's what we're doing here over here at Let's Talk Finance and Anointed Accounting. So thank everybody for that. Got some more announcements for you. Of course, it's crunch time, people. So if you do not have that IRS ID Me account, you are going to get left behind. I'm telling you, there are some things you are not going to be able to do. I promise you, you are not going to be able to do it. Have that IRS ID Me account open. Also, create your My Tax Illinois account. And in doing so, also, people, we want to be mindful of the things that we hear and see on social media, especially when it's pertaining to your tax situation. You want to do your investigation. You want to ask questions. You want to do your own personal surveys. So many people have got scammed just off information that's floating on social media, and that's because they don't have the knowledge. And this is another reason why Let's Talk Finance is here to educate you and to inform you to be aware. Be aware. If you opt not to ever use Anointed Accounting, no problem, but be aware and be informed. Ask those questions. Ask for reports if you have to. You know, you just don't want to spend your money twice if you don't have to. It's already a struggle as is. To add to that, that's insane. And we don't want to do that. So we want to be mindful of all of that information that's coming across our timelines. We just want to be nosy about us, especially if we're spending that money. So yes, take that in consideration. Please, please, please. Also, Let's Talk Finance podcast is still on that summer schedule where we will be coming on bi-weekly. So our shows for the month of August, of course, is going to air today, August 1st, August 15th, and then again, August 29th. So if you can tune in, please do so. If not, you want to watch it on the rebound, please do so with that. We're still looking for your feedback, any suggestions, anything that you want us to deliver to you. We're taking all of that feedback. You can send us an email. You can send us a message on our social media platforms, or you could also give us a call. So yes, absolutely. If you have not subscribed to that YouTube channel, please go ahead to the youtube.com and search out Anointed Accounting and hit that subscribe button. Please like, love, and share the content that we're posting on social media, because it's a need for it. It is definitely a need for it. And, you know, a lot of times you always hear the owners talk. You want to hear other people talk. So what we're going to be doing is when that footage becomes available from the anniversary event, we're going to be posting that on our YouTube page so you can hear what the clients have to say about Anointed Accounting as well as Let's Talk Finance podcast. Now, also with that summer schedule, our show may go between 60 and 75 minutes. If you have to leave before that 60 or 75-minute time frame, please do so. We still thank you for sharing your time with us, just for being in the midst and being available and hearing the information. Just hit that share button, because you never know who's going to need this information. You just never know. So let's go ahead and just share that information, because it takes a second to hit that share button, right? So let's just promote one another. Let's love on one another, and let's just get out there and shine. Why not? Now, this is one of the special times and parts of the show I love. Birthdays. Yes. So for the month of August, if anyone is celebrating their birthday in the month of August, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. As you're celebrating, please celebrate in decency and in order. Also, if you get some birthday cake, please give me a slice. And wait, let's talk about it. So it was a birthday cake bought for me, right? My favorite cake, right? Caramel. Some pieces were put to the side for me. I was going to go and enjoy those pieces on my own and to myself, all by myself. Why when I opened up the package, it had looked like it had been eaten off of and picked off of. So I didn't even get none of my own birthday cake. Go freaking figure. So yes, if you're celebrating your birthday and you have birthday cake, please give me some, especially if it's a caramel cake. I am going through caramel cake withdrawals over here. Okay, I got that out. But yes. Now, for our special birthdays in the month of August, my wife, Jazz, her birthday is August 10th. My nephew, Champ I Am, celebrating his birthday on the 12th. My bestie, shout out to Chrissy. Yes, if you were at the event, those centerpieces, the decorations, all of that is care of Chrissy and Lachey. Ooh, yes, okay. Yes, I had so much help. It was so many vendors in that. But when I tell you, those two ladies came and they shined and they did what was needed to do. Baby, when I tell you, wait for this gala that's coming in 2031. Y'all are going to be in for a time of y'all lives. And it's going to happen. But happy birthday, Chrissy, August 21st. And rest in peace, my Nana. Birthday is August 28th. And last but not least, my Barberette, Project P, Patience, her birthday is August 31st. So yes, happy birthday to everybody in the month of August celebrating. Again, please celebrate in decency and in order and share the birthday cake, because they took mine. they took mine. And now that I recall the conversation, I think Lachey was more upset than me. But that's okay. I cried about it. Whoever took it, they needed it. So it is what it is. Want to take this time to acknowledge my people online. Hey, Shayna. Hey, sister. My sister's here, y'all. Benita, she's here. I just love my sisters. All of them. I just love them. I just love them. And you know why? If y'all got like a big sister, y'all could get on their nerves. Like, isn't that wonderful? Who doesn't love that? Like, you could just call them and be like, I don't want nothing. What you doing? You stop me for nothing. Yeah, why not? Duh. So yeah, like you can get on their nerves and bother them. And they're always going to be there no matter what. So yes, love all of my sisters. Again, please love, like, and share the content. You just never know who you're going to help financially, okay? That concludes all of our updates and announcements. Now, let's get ready to jump into this amazing show that we have for you today. So, guess what, y'all? Welcome back to Let's Talk Finance Podcast. And if this is your first time here joining us, welcome to the family, because this is family. As you see, I tell everything. I share everything, because there are no secrets. And when you're open and honest with the person, they respect you way more than you trying to put on a facade. Yes. So yes, here on Let's Talk Finance Podcast, we break down your finances with clarity. We break down your finances with faith and empowerment. And the reason we do that is because understanding your money is not just about that paycheck, or that ACH deposit. It's way beyond that. It's about confidence, it's about alignment, and it's about a purpose. So, today's conversation is going to be the growth formula. And the growth formula with that has systems, strategy, and sustainability. So, listen, right? Check me out. I was one of these people. So, I'm not going to say many people, I'm going to say I. I was a person that believed that in a business, growth happens because you go to work every day and you work hard. Because you're a hard worker, you're going to make so much money. Why? Because on a 9 to 5, a 10 to 6, 11 to 7, you work hard for your hourly pay. And guess what? If they have overtime, you're doing overtime. So it pays off, right? The check pays off. So coming into being an entrepreneur with that mindset, I just knew that that was what growth was: working hard, working endlessly. What I came to find out is that some of that's true, but growth without direction is crazy. That's where you end up insane. I know because I've been there, right? So, whether you're coming into this starting a business fresh, whether you're doodling some information down, whether you're just taking notes and gathering an outline, you have to have systems in place. You have to be able to make certain decisions. You have to be able to not just look at the right now, but you have to look at the where we're going, the future of it. What is the entire magnitude of it? Because all of that plays a significant part. And not just as an entrepreneur, but as an individual also, because growth doesn't just start with money, because you can be an adult and act childish and you're not growing with your money, and vice versa. So it's not just for entrepreneurs, it's for everyone. So today, my goal is to share with you and explore the powerful ingredients that you need to grow confidence instead of chaos. Because initially it was so much chaos when opening up Anointed Accounting. It was so much chaos when opening up Let's Talk Finance. And I don't mean negative chaos. You can have chaos with yourself battling back and forth what you want to happen, how you want it to look. It's not looking like that. So now you're mad. It's not growing how you see or how you envisioned it, but somewhere along the lines, we've missed a part. So it is my intention to help you walk through that and how to show you how to implement and build something successful. Now, while we do that, I want you to think about this, right? And I know I had to do it as an entrepreneur. The systems that you use determines your capacity. Your strategy determines your direction. Your sustainability determines how long your success is going to last. And it took me a while to understand that. And guess what? I'm still learning that today, August 1st, 2026, and I'm an entrepreneur. So let's dive in. The first thing I want to talk to you about is building a business that can grow, because your business can grow. It doesn't matter how the economy looks. I can remember back in COVID, they were saying people didn't have any money. Yet, people were still at the stores buying, whether it was online shopping. People were catching more and more sales and more deals. That's just like now. We tell ourselves that we don't have it. But if it's a pair of jeans or a pair of shoes, we're going to find a workaround to try to get that pair of shoes or that pair of pants. If it's somewhere we want to go and we're just tired of waiting, we're going to come up with the finances to fund that, because that's what we want to do. There's a cliche saying that you make time for who and what is important to you. that same saying goes for your finances. Your money is available to who you want it to be distributed to, in whatever aspect that may be. So listen, I think and I believe that every entrepreneur dreams about growth. However, how many people actually prepare for it? Oftentimes, we find ourselves praying for more customers, more revenue, more opportunity, yet we rarely ask ourselves whether our business is actually ready to handle everything we're asking for. And I can remember a conversation with my pastor. I want 10,000 people. I want this. I want that. And his question to me was, it sounds good, Shavana, but are you ready for that? And initially I was offended because I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I know what I'm talking about. I know how to run a business. I've done my homework. Why wouldn't I be ready? Boy, baby, let me tell you. I was not ready. I was not ready because all of my systems wasn't in place. I didn't even have everything for the front end of the business ready. The programs and the software wasn't working together. So no, mentally I may have been ready, but I would have lost out on so much because everything on the back end was not ready. And that's where sometimes a lot of businesses fail. If that front end and back end is not solid and put together, it's not going to run correctly or smoothly. So, our first topic is going to be scaling with the strategy. How do we grow without burning ourselves out? Because I know me, 7 days a week. And then I said, no, I thought about my accounting teacher saying, you got to love what you're doing 8 days a week, 28 hours a day. So my mindset was, I'm going to work 8 days a week, 24 hours a day, because this is my company. And if I work this hard, I'm going to see the revenue that I saw when I was working in corporate America, especially doing overtime. Now, here's the thing. A lot of owners believe that if you work harder, you earn more. Nope, that's wrong. That's not even called earning revenue. You're not scaling your business. You're increasing your workload, but you're not improving your business to handle the workload to receive the revenue that it comes with. What you're doing is scaling. Now, what does that mean? Scaling means that you're increasing your revenue without increasing the stress because you're not thinking about nothing else. All you're thinking about is revenue. I'm getting money. I'm getting money. I'm getting money. You're not thinking about the systems in place. You're not thinking about the programs. You're not thinking about the customer satisfaction. Whatever your industry may be, you're not thinking about your vision. You don't even have your SMART goals together, let alone know where you're headed, because all you see is that revenue. So instead of asking, how can I do more so I can get more? What you should be asking is, how can my business do more? If I've put the work in and I've done the time, then I should be able to look at my business and say, here needs to be an adjustment. And if I adjust right here, then this could improve, because I've already saw the downslide when we kept it like this. So now we're adjusting things. Now it'll flow better because I've seen what it would do. So I need to let the business do that. When you start thinking like that, the shift changes everything. So let me give you an example. Now, me, I'm old school, and I know what I'm about to tell you is a fact. Yet, because I'm old school, I still like to do it my way. If I do it this way, that's going to confuse me, and now my work is going to seem harder. And that's because I work with technology, but I'm not a lover of technology. So the example that I want to give you is instead of companies or individuals manually scheduling every appointment, why not use a scheduling calendar? Let me send you this link. You schedule your appointment, it'll be right on my calendar. That seems so easy to do, right? Yes. However, me, I'm not doing that. I want to talk to you. I want to put you on my calendar and send you this invite. That makes sense to me. Now, there's a lot of scheduling software out there. That means that now I have to take time to learn a new software. No, I don't have that type of time. But there's someone else out there that do that. However, the way that technology moves, I have to move with that. Another example would be automating reoccurring invoices. So if you have a customer that pays you monthly, set that invoice to reoccur monthly instead of you manually entering in an invoice monthly. Those are some examples that would help. Another example of that would be business growth coaching development plans. That helps your business. And I didn't find out how that helps your business until I wanted to go for certifications. And when you go for certifications, they ask you for these documents. And as you do the research, it's like, oh, I'm already doing this. I just didn't know this is what the title of it was. So now that I've been doing it behind the scenes, where's my documents to show the work and the proof? Because documentation is everything. Now, here's an example. Professional athletes have coaches, right? They can always go to their coach. CEOs have advisors or an advisory team they sit down with. When you're a business, your business has to have a strategic plan. So growth coaching isn't always about somebody telling you what to do. And that's what I thought. This is my business. How can you come in and tell me what to do? No, that's not their job. Their job is to oversee what you've done and to implement a better process to guide you and show you the different proper procedures, whether it's going to go in a negative facet or a positive facet. It's almost like a risk management person that's overseeing everything. So you have to look at it like that. I'm here to help your business. Now, once I got out of that mindset, and of course, I do a lot of research. See, so during them slow seasons, when a lot of people that you're supposed to travel and do all your spring cleaning and you go shopping and hang out, yeah, that's fun, and I do that too. But I also take that slow season and that time to educate myself more and to bring myself more current on situations because people rely on me for those answers. So I have to know the answers. I have to know the whys behind it. So once I understood that, I realized a development plan is what I need to help structure some of the purposes that I have for Anointed Accounting. So a development plan means, where is the business at today? Where do you want the business to be in 1 year? Where do you want the business to be in 3 years or 5 years? Now, here is what I come to find out. According to the SBA, the Small Business Association, businesses that have documented plans and measurable goals are more likely to experience and sustain growth more than a company without. And that's because everything is there. It's written. It's the blueprint. It's the path. It's also directions if something is not aligning correctly. Now, studies show that companies with a formula and a written plan grow 30% faster than those without a strategy plan. When I had no plan, I was running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. But now that we have a solid plan and it's written, I'm good. I go back to the plan. If there's adjustments that need to be had, I take care of those adjustments at that point. Now, the next topic is building financial strength that supports growth. And you have to be able to support the growth, because as you're growing, you can no longer do everything by yourself. You're going to need some type of help, whether it's automation help or an individual that helps. Water break. Now, I want to acknowledge my other listeners online. Hey, Miss Latrice, Lala's Palace in the house. Hey, another successful business owner. But she also went into social work. Girl, I need to come lay on your couch too, girl. And anybody else who I didn't call, thank you for spending your time with me, Shavonna, the Allure of Abundance on Let's Talk Finance podcast. And today we are talking about the growth formula, the systems, the strategy, and the sustainability. Now, as your business grows, do understand that your financial strategy must grow. You can't stay there. You can't stay stagnant and think that what happens when you were making $1,000 is going to be the same thing when you make $5,000. Absolutely not. Things change. And what do I mean by that? So here we go. The tax strategy you use to start up your company is not going to be the same tax strategy when your revenue increases. Why? Because growth increases opportunity, and it also increases responsibilities. This is what needs to happen. First thing, your tax strategy. When your business grows, you need to restructure how you're structured if you're not structured properly. Meaning whether you're an LLC, a S Corp, a sole proprietor, a C Corp, you need to know how you're structured. That's the business entity structure. You need to know your estimated tax payments. What are they going to be? This comes with when you sit down and consult with your accountant, your tax advisor, or your financial advisor. They give you these answers and they give you these blueprints. If you're going to start up a payroll, what does that look like? What does retirement planning look like? What does business deductions look like, depending on how you're structured? How does equipment purchases help you? Would it be an asset? Would it be considered just a long-term liability? How will it affect your taxable income? How does the depreciation look? These are questions that you need to be asking yourselves. Hiring employees versus contractors. Then you have state tax obligations, not just on the federal side, but you have it on the state side as well. And here's the thing, right? Waiting until tax time to sit down and talk about all these topics is absolutely crazy. Pick up the phone, schedule an appointment, talk to your accountant, your tax preparer. Look, these are some changes that's going on. Or, hey, I was listening to the Allure Abundance and she said this. Can you help me with this? Does any of this make sense to you? You're able to do that. You don't have to sit and wonder. And that's what I love about the show. The questions that people have, I'm so free to say, hey, pick up the phone and call, because I'll pick up the phone and call. I don't assume nothing. If I can't find it online, and if I can't find another resource, and I've talked to all three of my gurus and they're not in agreement, oh, it's time to get on the phone because somebody got to explain something to me. Tax planning should happen throughout the year, not just when you think you're ready to get a refund or because you think you owe. You may not owe if you tax plan year round. This is on the personal side as well as the business side. You have to get your affairs in order because your financial affairs can hinder your daily routine affairs. Now, you also have to be able to renew your growth performance. How does that look in the business? So, a lot of owners celebrate revenue, right? Look at anointed accounting. We typically don't celebrate the revenue. What I like to do is put it back into the business and celebrate my clients. What can we do for the clients? If it's a birthday card with a gift card inside of it, if it's better packaging, if it's better upgrades to software and technology, whatever is going to benefit the client, that's what we want to celebrate our revenue with. Now, some businesses do not study their profitability. You have to study your profitability. You have to know where you are. If you spend this, will you still show a profit? If so, how much? You need to know the percentage you're able to go around. Your revenue will be able to tell you how much money came in. Your profit tells you how much money you actually kept. So I done received $10,000 in. That's my revenue. However, I done kept 8,000 of those $10,000 that came in because that's my profit. Now, also in business, you have to know your profit margins, right? You have to know your operating expenses. You have to know your cash flow. You have to know your budget performance, your sales trends, your client acquisition costs, your revenue projections. Every year, I sit down with my team and my accountant. Look, how much is this going to cost to implement or upgrading even just some of the materials that we have? Because that's time consuming. That's an hourly or a salary wage. If we're printing those documents, now we have to put those into production, whether we're buying the ink and paper ourselves or we're using a third party company to do that for us. So you have to be able to account for that. What is important? What projections that's coming up that we need to be mindful of our spending? Looking at your numbers every quarter will help identify problems before your problems become emergencies. Sit and look at them numbers, look at them financial statements, look at what's coming in and what's going out. Ask questions. Do it on yourself personally as well. You don't just need to have a business to do this. Know where your check is going. Time and time again, I hear so many people say, I don't see how I made $70,000. My check don't say that. Well, have you did an audit on your finances? I don't got no business. You don't need a business. Those are your finances. I tell you what, your mortgage, your rent, your light, your gas, your phone, that's a business. However you want to look at it, that's a business because you got to pay for that. If you don't pay for that, you don't have it. So either you're going to get in line or you're going to get left behind, one or the other. So don't let your problems turn into emergencies because emergencies cost more than problems. Remember that. Also, in a business, you must perform those audits. And I continuously talk about doing audits. Think of an audit as a wellness check. When you think of audits, people think of the IRS auditing you and they get scared and they cram up. No, come audit me because I know that I'm my own worst critic because I'm always going to think something is incorrect. But now if you're here, you can tell me what's wrong. Point it out because you see it. And now that you see it and you've shown it to me, now I can go back and make those adjustments. And I say I because don't nobody else do this but just me because everybody else is perfect, right? Now, when you're auditing yourselves, you have to evaluate yourself. You have to do financial performance. You have to do customer satisfaction. You have to do operational efficiency. You have to do internal processes. You have to talk about technology. risk management, employee performance. All of that plays a key factor in the business. And this is what I mean by having all of these in play. If the front end and the back end are not in order, that middle piece is not going to run smoothly, because these factors here can hinder a process. It can slow down the process. It can slow down that growth. It can slow down the sustainability that you're trying to have. It can slow down that profit. The fact of the matter is that businesses that review their financial performance every 90 days are better positioned to adjust their pricing, control expenses, and plan for investments. I used to wonder how stores were able to pay for all of the overhead costs, all of the operational expenses, administrative expenses, and still run a sale. Like, how are y'all doing this? But because they had those plans implemented, they prepared for it. So if I'm running a special, I've already prepared for it. If I'm giving out discounts, I've already prepared for it. But I didn't realize that until I had to implement all of these little key elements that I was missing. Now, building a legacy through sustainable growth. In business, typically that's what people want to do. When you go into business, yes, you go into business to make money, but you also go into business to leave a legacy behind. You leaving it for your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children, because you just want your legacy to carry on, right? And it's nothing wrong with that. Your legacy is supposed to carry on. So a successful business should do more than just provide income. I had to learn that too, because again, I'm stuck on the income and making business. Because if you make business, you have all this money, but you don't have any problems. When I wasn't looking at everything as a whole, I wasn't viewing things from an octagon's perspective. I was reviewing things from a Shavana's perspective. And we see that didn't get me nowhere. Like, I had to be mindful and sit and open up and adjust and listen. And that's what you need to have going into entrepreneurship. Now, with sustaining your legacy should create opportunity. It should create wealth. It should be established as a long-term legacy. Now, let's talk about your legacy, right? And your legacy is what you envisioned. This was a dream of yours. Like, you saw it come to the forefront. You're excited and elated. But with all of that, did you consider your financial independence? And a lot of times in business, we don't think about that financial independence because we're still stuck on, I'm making money. But no, your business has to have financial independence. And let me tell you what that is. Financial independence isn't simply earning more money. Again, I thought that's what it was. I learned a lot of things from years 1 through 5. And that's why I was excited to celebrate 5 years of service, because not just working with clients, but behind the scenes, you learn so much being an entrepreneur. Stuff that they briefly touch about in school, but it's out of sight, out of mind. But when you're in business, that small conversation that was had in class, or that small reading that was posted to the discussion board, that's going to make so much sense as you're working in business. But your financial independence is creating a business that continues to generate income through efficient systems, diversified revenue, and intentional planning. You have to have all of that. You intentionally plan. You're servicing not just one person, but several persons. You have proper and efficient systems in play. These businesses often include processes, standard line processing. What is your process? That's just like we all know if we go to the store and we go to self checkout, they have a process. If you don't scan that food, an alarm is going to go off. When you go to Walmart, when you leave and you got big items, their process, hit that receipt with a marker to check those big processes to make sure they are not stolen. So everywhere you go has a process. You have to follow the process. Having reliable technology. Our world is based on technology. Just today, I heard somebody ordering food at Popeyes, and for a second, I thought it was a human until I listened. I was like, that's a whole robot. You mean to tell me the robots is taking orders now? They're replacing people? But the system is so efficient. It got the order correctly, repeated the order back, was upscaling on the order, and gave a price and told where to pull up to. So yes, those efficient systems are going to help because it's reliable technology. You have to build a relationship with your clientele. You have to have consistent branding. You can't start with your business is 127, but tomorrow you want it to be, oh, I think 224 is fine. No. How am I going to know who you are? Like, no. You also have to have multiple lines of income. You also have to have financial reserves. The goal is for your business to continue to grow, right? It's not for you to overwork yourself and the business still hasn't grown. With your business and legacy planning, ask yourself this, and I had to do this to myself, right? And even sometimes now I catch myself doing it. Just because, like, when you have those conversations with yourself, people think you crazy, but you're not. It just makes more sense, right? So here's the question to ask yourself, right? About your business. If I stepped away tomorrow, would my business continue to grow? Would it? If so, how? Now, if you said no to that, I'm going to ask you, do you have a legacy plan written out? We've talked about this on the show. As a matter of fact, we talked about this last June of 25, legacy planning. But your legacy plan should have a succession plan. And what the succession plan is it's a strategic business process used to identify the critical roles. It points out your high-risk customers. It points out people in your leadership and positions and people when they can and should retire, people who should move up and grow with the company. It consists of estate planning. What is estate planning? It's the process of arranging how your money and your property will be managed or given away if you're sick and you can't make that decision. You don't have to worry about nobody fighting because you got it right there. Written operating procedures. That's what it consists of. And what is that, Shavonna? It's commonly known as the Standard Organized Operating Procedure System. And let me tell you something, right? You have to, in business, right? You have to say, look, I know that I have a lot going on. I know that all of this may be beneficial and I may need all of this, but right now it's just not feasible. And guess what? If you come to that point, great. No harm, no foul, right? However, if you're thinking about the long run, if you're thinking about um if you're thinking about generational wealth and if my legacy is going to last, you have to sit down and start somewhere. And trust me, all of this that I've told you about is strategic and it's tedious. But when we have those slow and down periods, do a little at a time. You'd be surprised how much you would have gotten completed. Now, I want you to think about this, right? And I'm gonna read it to you. It's it's the generational impact, right? That businesses have, especially when they're thinking about leaving a legacy. So generational wealth is often built through appreciating business assets, consistent profitability, intentional decision planning, and disciplined financial management. You need all of that, not just one thing. You need all of that. So here is what I challenge everybody to do this week. And I'm going to do it with you. I do it anyway, but I want to look at it from a different perspective, right? Because I'm y'all, right? So, as we take a moment and reflect on everything that we talked about today, that I've witnessed and told you about today, and just let it sink in. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, you sitting there, I want you to think about in business, what is one process that you could start automating? One process. Didn't say all of them, just one. For me, it may be, scheduling them appointments. Maybe, who knows? It may be. Two, one financial report I want you all to review. I don't care if it's the P&L, which is the profit and loss, the BS, which is the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, or the retained earnings statement. Review one of those. Ask questions. See where there's adjustments need to be. Understand what you're looking at. Last but not least, what is one long-term goal that deserves a written strategy behind it? One long-term goal. And that's something that I have to sit and think about. It's something that I want to write down. And we're going to talk about it. We'll revisit this later. But I want you to do that. And then I want you to schedule an appointment with your accountant or your tax preparer. And I want you to sit down and discuss all of these things that we've talked about on the business side and on the personal side. You may be an entrepreneur that works a 9 to 5. You're not excluded to any of this. So sit down and talk to your preparer. So schedule that appointment. Ask about those profit margins, those expenses, and those growth projections. Develop that legacy plan. You have to. It's so important that we jump on the bandwagon and do this, because if we don't do this for ourselves, who gonna do it for us? Nobody. So we have to do it. I want to first thank everybody again just for coming out and sharing your Saturday with me. Everybody online, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and push that share button. Give us some feedback, because we love your feedback. Give us some questions you would like for us to answer, or even some topics you would like for us to discuss here. We don't mind doing the research here. We love it. So I just want to thank, if you're listening now or you come back later, just thank you all for, the support and the love. It is truly, 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 truly appreciated. And it does not go without being said that we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Whether you watch now or later, we appreciate it. I want you to remember that A business that's built on systems creates a steady flow of capacity. There's no inconsistencies. There's intentional planning. You want to see your legacy flow. You want to walk away and say, hey, I'm comfortable knowing that my business is going to be okay. Personally, you want to walk away and say, hey, this is taken care of because I've followed the blueprints. I've made necessary adjustments. I was intentional. I had a purpose. I saw the vision and I put the work into it. So I just want you to just go over those things that we talked about. Think about what you can automate, making things simpler for you. Think about that legacy plan. Think about that long-term goal that you should write out that deserves that strategy plan. And let's talk about it. And as you're out celebrating Sunday through Saturday, regardless to if it's your birthday, holiday, anniversary, your day, my day, day, do it in decency and in order. Do it with a purpose. Continue to follow us on all our social media platforms at Anointed Accounting, which is ANOINTEDACCOUNTING. Our website is www.ANOINTEDACCOUNTING.com. Yay! Our YouTube channel is youtube.com. Type in Anointed Accounting, ANOINTEDACCOUNTING. And our telephone number is 312-837-7219. I am the Allure of Abundance, your host on Let's Talk Finance podcast, powered by Anointed Accounting. I want you all to have a great, awesome, phenomenal weekend, a great, phenomenal, and awesome week. And remember to walk in grace, love, and in purpose. And until the 15th, you all stay blessed. I love y'all and thank y'all. And share the content.